Home is not just a place you return to. It's the place that waits for you, even when everything else changes. This season, Heartland reminds us why some bonds never break and why every ending is only the start of something new. The land is quiet in the early morning. The sun rises slowly over open fields, and the wind moves gently through the grass. This place has seen joy, loss, and countless second chances. Heartland is more than a ranch. It is where broken hearts learn to heal, where trust is earned one step at a time, and where family always finds its way back together. Season after season, this land has held every story, every tear, and every promise made under wide open skies. Time has passed, but the heart of Heartland remains the same. The fences still stand strong. The barn doors still open with familiar sounds. Horses still run free, carrying both hope and history with every stride. Each corner of this place holds a memory, some warm, some painful, but all of them meaningful. What was once learned here has shaped lives forever, and the lessons of the past still guide the future. Family has always been the center of it all, not just the ones you are born into, but the ones you choose. Through hard seasons and quiet victories, Heartland has shown that love does not fade with time. It grows stronger when tested. It stays steady when the world feels uncertain. Even when words go unspoken, the bond is felt in every look, every shared silence, and every moment of standing together. But no legacy stays still. Life keeps moving forward, and with it comes change. Old routines begin to shift. Familiar paths feel different. The people who call this place home must face what it means to hold on and what it means to let go. The past still matters, but the future is calling, asking for courage, honesty, and strength. The choices made now will shape what Heartland becomes next. As season 19 begins, the ranch stands at a quiet turning point. The land remembers everything, but it does not fear what's ahead. Because Heartland has always believed in one simple truth: no matter how hard the road gets, healing is possible, family endures, and home is worth fighting for. Change does not arrive with noise. It comes quietly, slipping into everyday moments when no one is prepared. A familiar routine suddenly feels uncertain. A simple decision carries more weight than before. At Heartland, the days move forward as they always have, but something underneath has begun to stir. The land is the same, yet the feeling in the air has changed. The people who call this place home are standing at new crossroads. Responsibilities grow heavier, and expectations are harder to ignore. Some are learning that holding on can be just as painful as letting go. Others are discovering that strength is not about control, but about trust. Every step forward brings questions that don't have easy answers, and every silence says more than words ever could. The past has a way of showing up when it's least expected. Old memories resurface, not to weaken, but to remind. Choices made long ago echo into the present, shaping emotions, relationships, and futures. At Heartland, no one walks alone, yet everyone must face their own battles. The challenge is not just surviving change, but understanding what it demands in return. Outside pressures begin to close in, testing what has always felt secure. The ranch, once a symbol of stability, now asks for commitment in new ways. Protecting it means sacrifice. Loving it means risk. And for some, staying may be harder than leaving. The idea of home is no longer simple. It is something that must be chosen again and again. Yet within all this uncertainty, something powerful remains. Quiet moments of connection. A shared look that says, "I'm here," a horse responding to care and patience. These small signs remind everyone that even when the ground shifts, Heartland still stands for hope. Season 19 is not just about change, it's about finding the courage to face it together. Even when the future feels wide open and unknown, some moments change everything, even when they seem small at first. A pause before answering. A road taken instead of another. At Heartland, these moments begin to pile up, quietly shaping what comes next. The comfort of the familiar starts to fade, replaced by decisions that demand honesty and courage. There is no going back, only forward. Each person is facing a choice that touches the core of who they are. To step into something new or remain where it feels safe. To speak the truth or protect the peace. These choices are not made in loud arguments, but in quiet reflections, long looks across open land, and nights spent wondering what tomorrow will bring. The weight of responsibility feels heavier than ever. Relationships are tested in ways no one expected. Trust is questioned. Promises are examined. Love is not lost, but it is challenged to grow deeper. At Heartland, connection has always been a strength, yet this season asks whether those bonds can survive change. Standing together means listening, forgiving, and sometimes accepting answers that are hard to hear. The land itself seems to watch, steady and patient. Horses respond to emotion, sensing fear, doubt, and hope without a single word spoken. In caring for them, the people of Heartland are forced to confront themselves. Healing is not instant. It takes time, effort, and the willingness to face uncomfortable truths. Season 19 reaches into these turning points where every decision leaves a mark. The future is no longer a distant idea, it is forming right now, shaped by every choice made in silence. At Heartland, the hardest path is often the most honest one. And this season proves that growth begins when you stop running from what must be faced. Even after the hardest moments, the sun still rises over Heartland. The land breathes, steady and strong, reminding everyone that endings are never the full story. When the dust settles and emotions run deep, hope finds a way to stay. Not loud or perfect, but real. It lives in the quiet strength of those who choose to keep going. Healing does not come all at once. It appears in small steps, hands reaching out, words finally spoken, trust slowly rebuilt. At Heartland, hope grows through patience and care. A horse responding to kindness. A family sharing a simple moment of peace. These moments may seem small, but they carry the power to change everything. This season shows that strength is not about standing alone. It is about leaning on one another when the weight becomes too much. Support is found in shared work, honest conversations, and the understanding that no one has to face the future by themselves. Even when paths change, the bond remains. The challenges are real, and the road ahead is not easy. But Heartland has never promised an easy journey, only a meaningful one. The lessons learned here are built on compassion, trust, and resilience. They remind us that love is an action, shown through effort, sacrifice, and forgiveness. As season 19 unfolds, Heartland stands as a symbol of what endures. Not perfection, but persistence. Not certainty, but faith. No matter how much changes, hope refuses to fade. Because as long as there is care, courage, and connection, Heartland will always be more than a place, it will be a home. The future does not arrive fully formed. It begins quietly, with a single step into the unknown. At Heartland, that step is finally taken. What once felt distant now stands close enough to touch. The questions that lingered in the air begin to demand answers, and the people of this land must decide not who they were, but who they are becoming. There is a new sense of purpose moving through the ranch. Not rushed, not forced, but earned. The past still matters, yet it no longer holds everything in place. Lessons learned through loss, love, and patience start to guide new paths forward. Some dreams change shape, others grow stronger. What matters most is the courage to keep moving, even when the outcome is unclear. New beginnings often come with fear. The fear of failure, the fear of losing what was once certain. But at Heartland, fear has never been the end of the story. It is the moment before growth. Every challenge faced has built resilience, and every setback has revealed strength that was already there. This season shows that moving forward does not mean forgetting, it means honoring the journey that made it possible. Connections deepen in unexpected ways. Support shows up where it is least expected. The bond between people and the land grows stronger, grounded in trust and care. Horses run freely across open fields, a reminder that freedom is not the absence of struggle, but the courage to rise above it. In these moments, the future begins to feel real and worth believing in. Season 19 is not about closing a chapter. It is about turning the page, about choosing hope over fear and action over doubt. At Heartland, the future takes its first breath not in grand gestures, but in steady hearts and open hands. Because as long as there is belief, family, and the will to continue, the story of Heartland is far from over. There is a moment when the noise fades and everything feels clear. At Heartland, That moment arrives when the past, the present, and the future meet. All the struggles, the choices, and the quiet hopes begin to connect. Nothing feels accidental anymore. Every step, every setback has led here. Emotions rise as truths come into the open. What was once avoided can no longer be ignored. Conversations happen that change relationships forever. Some bring relief, others bring pain, but all of them bring honesty. At Heartland, facing the truth is never easy, but it is always necessary. This season shows that real strength comes from being open. Even when it hurts, the ranch becomes the center of it all once again. A place where conflicts surface, but also where understanding grows. The land has witnessed every chapter, and now it stands steady as new ones are written. Horses thunder across the fields full of energy and freedom, reminding everyone why this place is worth protecting. The bond between people and animals speaks louder than words ever could. As tensions reach their peak, hope does not disappear, it sharpens. It becomes something to fight for. Family members stand together, not because everything is perfect, but because walking away is no longer an option. Love proves itself through action, sacrifice, and choice. These moments define what Heartland truly is. Season 19 builds toward this powerful point, where everything matters and nothing is taken for granted. It is not about winning or losing. It is about staying true to what matters most. When everything comes together, Heartland reminds us that even in the hardest moments, unity, courage, and heart can carry us forward. In the end, everything leads back to one truth. Home is not something you leave behind. It is something that lives inside you, shaped by the people who stand beside you and the place that never stops believing in you. At Heartland, this truth has been earned through every challenge, every sacrifice, and every moment of doubt. The land remains open and endless, just as it always has. It holds the past with care and welcomes the future without fear. What has been built here cannot be measured by fences or fields. It lives in trust rebuilt, in love that survived change, and in the choice to stay when leaving would have been easier. Season 19 brings the story full circle, not by closing doors, but by opening new ones. The road ahead is still uncertain, but it is no longer faced alone. Together, the people of Heartland move forward, carrying everything they have learned. Strength is no longer questioned. It is proven. As the final moments unfold, the ranch stands quiet once more. Horses settle. The wind moves through the grass. Peace does not mean everything is perfect, it means everything is real. Heartland has never promised easy answers, only honest ones. This season is a reminder that no matter how much changes, what truly matters stays the same. Family, healing, belonging. Because at Heartland, home is not just where the story began, it is where it continues.